Okay, this is gonna be on top the bot. Okay, makes sense. Okay, so basically, the best chances for Mad Lions to win this game, right? If they want to win, they will have to make sure that they just find this in, honestly. If you look at the champs, right? On top lane, against Gwen, kill threat. Mid lane, against any mid lane, kill threat. Like, I feel this Braum against these guys, kill threat as well. So, if they could have, right? They should really try to put like a ward level 1 somewhere to spot where he started. However, they're not aware of it, so that kind of blows. Because having a ward right would allow your laners to play complete monkey. And that's the goal, right? To play complete monkey. And right now, Armut doesn't have any wards. Of course, Impact's gonna call, hey, you didn't ward yet, you can look for a gank. They know that Graves started top the bot, which means that enemy top lane is really vulnerable. So in this situation, right? Oh wait, I need to move my camera a bit maybe. In this situation, right? Impact's gonna say, hey, he needs to push out his wave and he needs to crash out this wave. If he doesn't, his wave is gonna be bad and he cannot play the game. So Armut's probably gonna go for ward. Lee Sin might jump around and just go for him. And of course, Impact saying, hey, Armut's warding right there, right? So Lee Sin is just gonna jump around and look to kill him, knowing that he needs to push out his wave. So he's gonna jump around and... Okay, so when you go for a gank, right? The best time for a gank is when he goes for last hit. Because when he goes for last hit, he's gonna walk up and Sejuani should not make it too obvious, stand a bit back. So the moment he's like around here and this then starts showing, that guy is doomed. And this guy will not survive. So like as you can see, he's standing a bit behind, right? Making sure he goes for the last hit. I mean, I think they could have went already, but they're waiting for level 3, I guess. That's why. So if they're going for a gank here, Sejuani has to make sure that he's hooking bot side to cut off his escape path. If he does so, then he goes top side, Lee Sin can kill him, guaranteed. So preferably should hook bot side a little bit. That's really good what he does. So if he runs to the bot side, right, Sejuani can just keep running him down. So this guy is now officially dead. Okay, so as you can see, Impact, some top players make the mistake of like for some reason hooking top side. And if Lee Sin shows here, Sejuani shows here, this guy can run down, which is really good for him. But Impact runs to the bot side, making sure that if he runs down, which is his only option, he can cut him off. And because of that as well, he can of course gap close. So that was good of him. So they got the first bot. One thing though, after they make a play like this, right, and Graves didn't show, EG should be aware that mid or bot should be really careful. Because any person can know that the moment this shows, they will try to do anything on mid and bot. And if they can't, then Graves can only get tempo and try to use it. However, if you can't use it and EG stabilizing, it's like a 1-0 and they're not gonna come back. So right now, EG is probably just gonna look to clear top to... I mean, he's gonna clear top side, he's gonna base. His wave is still bad, however, if Lee Sin takes top the camps and let's say they assume that the Graves is behind and has to cover, which he actually does, right? Lee Sin is getting tempo from that and he can just base and get an advantage. And Impact needs to base anyway, so Inspire's probably just gonna take the crap, the crap, wolves, base, and look to make another play. So I'm just gonna play faster. Actually good base, I like it. Because he has a lot of gold. So he doesn't waste time and his rotation is actually perfect. Okay, so right here, right? If you look at the wave, I'm sure that this is a top lane slow push. So right now, if EG is communicating, hey, I have a slow push, I can make really fat wave, Graves is going top the bot, can you look for a dive? If Sejuani can defend the slow push and LeBlanc has a mid push, which I don't think he does by the way, but however, they can even dive us too. They know that Graves is going bot side, so EG is weak side. They're really fine, the wave management is really good, and yeah, if Lee Sin can take Raptors and be there on the next wave and look for a top lane dive, that would be good. Because they should know that Graves cannot be there, right? So that's the wave, they can look for something. Okay, they're looking for a mid lane gank. Don't think this mid lane gank is gonna work out. I really think that if Impact could, right, just slow push this wave a little bit more and make sure that on that wave just look to dive him. And he can even skip his wolves if he has to, because he can easily take his wolves. He's not going to counter jungle. However, he should always take his raptors, because if he shows top, Graves is going to go for the raptors. I guess honestly I think he would have done that. However, mid lane's getting a bit bullied here and he's probably asking for help, because he can't really lane, right? Wait, he even flashed? Did he flash? I think he flashed. But yeah, I'm sure that mid lane is just saying, hey, help me or something. He actually flashed, yeah. So, I mean, I do think that if mid lane did not need help, I think they would have went for that play, which I mentioned. Okay, in this situation, I really don't like what Mad Lions is doing. Mad Lions is assuming that Lee Sin just went topside. This is their assumption, right? And which is really normal. However, these Drakes are so OP, and it takes so long. Yes, they're Renata, but still takes a while, right? And Kalista's on the map is a pure 3v3, and they started Drake against these champions. Like, if... I mean, probably nothing's gonna happen here. This is gonna run away, it's gonna get resetted, and what's gonna happen is that Afid is gonna keep the push, and they're just gonna clear wards here and go back to standard. Right now, though, enemy top lane is really low. I'm sure that Impact's screaming, this guy is screwed, come top. So on that wave that's coming, right, they can skirt a little bit mid push, bot lane cannot get off, and they're gonna look for a top dive. Knowing that Graves has taken bots at camps, and if he doesn't and goes top, he's not farming. If he's farming, Gwen dies. It's A or B. So it's a win-win situation, which is why Lee Sin doesn't have to go for his Gromp. So he's probably gonna look for top lane here, because, well, why not? So like I said, if he goes for his camps, this guy is doomed. He's doomed. But in general, this is what I mentioned, like this, the thought process of junglers, like, he either takes camps or, you know, like, but imagine Graves would run instant top, nothing would change, because it's just so awkward, right? Like, and at highest levels, it's all about waves and timings. And bot is playing really good. They're playing according to, like, how it is, you know? So, right now, EG is just basing. They're thinking, okay, what are we playing for? They know Graves bot side for sure. He's gonna probably go to bot side in the top side and make sure they can secure the Herald. And bot lane is just playing weak side. So, I assume that Inspires is gonna take golems, red buff, bot lane preferably, right? If they need the base, he can always hover around to secure their bot push, to make sure they get a base, and then play for the Herald. And as long as they just ward the Drake and don't play for it and match, that's all they have to do. So right now they're pushing, they're gonna base, he's gonna take a red buff, he will get level 6 of that, I believe. It's like around the timing-ish, like red on raptors, he'll get level 6. I'm pretty sure after red on raptors. Okay, he got level 6 right now. So right now, they know that Herald is spawning in 50 seconds, right? Listen is gonna take probably raptors, run through mid lane, and see if this guy's trolling. Ooh, this is really good, I like it. They can just QR and see what happens. Actually really good. He's gonna die or has to flash. He's dead. Okay, so right now that's really good for them. They are just gonna probably secure the Herald, honestly. However, actually, yeah, they can secure the Herald. I was gonna mention that if Victor was alive and they hover in the bot, he should not start the Herald. He should make sure that he takes the area before he goes to the Herald, because they're stronger. That way they're not gonna lose anything, and if you're ahead, you should be doing that. Okay, he's just gonna go for... Actually, he's gonna go for the kill. Okay, I guess it's Chunkaroni. I mean, maybe it's probably because like they're shouting that their bottom top's moving. However, right now, right, EG is in a really good position because this movement here is really bad. It's not gonna achieve anything because if Mad Lion starts the Herald, okay, enemy AD, EG AD is gonna push alone. Braum starts hovering. They're just gonna dance, wait till it's like really low, and they're gonna wait for numbers and then fight them. So them moving to this is really bad. If anything, they should be taking one more bot wave, one more top wave, and then move. But I really hope that Mad Lion's bot lane is not fully committing, because if they do, then it's really catastrophic. I mean, even this, right? This is like oinking. This is like just bad. this will actually lose them the Herald. Because right now, right, they're pushing top, pushing bot. They're gonna wait as long as possible. Lee Sin is gonna press S. He's gonna look at them. And what's gonna happen is that even if they get Herald, they're gonna die. Sejuani does not have ultimate, right? However, I don't think that matters even. EGs will have the choice of, I mean, since they see Renata, right, to like just dive him and make him lose 2 plays plus waves. And even lose the Herald wouldn't be too bad. And I think honestly they're gonna go for that option, I think, because they're a little bit late. But let's see what they do. Personally, I would have just denied the Kalista, because you get so much more. Because they see the Renata really obviously. Okay. They're just making them lose farm, and I think they are gonna look to like tease them a bit, but nothing's gonna happen. But look, bot lane plates, you see, it was 5 plates. Now, because it's white gun, it's only, they basically got 2 plates and knights on farm. So that's really good for EG, and they lost top farm. So if you look at the gold deficit, right, they were like 1.4k. Yeah, they were like 1.4k behind, right? And after this, they're like 1.7k behind, which is actually Herald value if you think about it. Like, they're even more behind now. They're like 1.8k behind. So like, you know, it's like not the greatest. I mean, it's really clear that just reviewing the games that EG is like on a different level compared to Mad Lions in terms of like just the small things, right? And all the small things add up, and it just, yeah, it makes it much more difficult. EG did troll here a bit though by chasing a bit too far. If they didn't do that right, then Lee Sin could take his topside camps in peace and then stabilize the game. However, now they lose a bit more than necessary, but it's alright, you know? It's not the worst. Okay, so right now in this situation, I mean, Lee Sin is for sure gonna look to play through mid lane. He's probably gonna look to base after taking Raptors, because I do believe he has a Gold Drinker soon. And after he base after the Golems, okay, he based right now. He's gonna run through mid lane, make sure that he takes all the control here, which won't allow the Victor to play the game, which will also mean that LeBlanc can push a move, and since their ball has no summoners, they cannot play the game. Top lane is a tank, doesn't matter. So very likely, EG is gonna look to play mid bot, and they're gonna look to play for the bot tower. What are Mad Lions doing there? Dude. I see Sejuani's even proxying top lane, which is actually really good, by the way. I really like what Impact's doing. Because this creates like so much pressure. And this guy is like, bruh, you know, like... okay, so right here is all about river control, right? And the only reason that Mad Lions could move to here is because Lee Sin based, Gore is Gold Drinker, and Aphelios cancels base, and it doesn't matter. So they have this one turn to take control here, right? However, like I said in draft already, they have no tools. It's really difficult to play the game. It's like they have to just smurf really hard around objectives and scale or something, you know? Okay, let me just slow down a little bit. Okay, so right here in this situation, they have the bot lane push. Affiliate bot, this is their best chance to look for something. However, enemy Sejuani is here as well. So basically, if you think about it, it's actually equal numbers, and EG is actually stronger. So, but regardless of that, right, they should be looking for something if they can. But the only thing they can do is just clear wards, and beside that, I don't think they can do too much. Like, even the field is moving right, and it goes too far away. So this is gonna be no BNO. I can tell you that one of them is gonna die probably. No BNO, it seems. Ooh. That's Renata. Wow, okay, wait. Maybe some magic happens? Oh! Oh, that's sad for Mad Lions, but yeah. That's crazy though, the damage. I mean, after that, it's like hits the nail in the coffin. They have like no CC tools to come back. Right here, I would say their best choice. It is quite difficult from Medline's position right now, right? But I really love the passion in general, you know? But yeah, anyway, if you look at the game state, right? They are basically playing towards the bot side, ruling through mid lane, taking full river control. I mean, Mad Lions just have to identify, okay, they're playing for Drake. What does it mean? We send our AD plus just full trade on top lane, you know. However, they have a Gwen and they have a Sejuani. If they look to trade and Gwen's not farming and Sejuani's not farming, it is better for Sejuani. So it is a bit of toughy, you know. But yeah, they're just gonna take the bot wave here, EG. They will move into mid lane because the moment they secure the bot wave here, and let's say they don't know where Graves is and they can't dive, they should make sure that Sejuani is involved. I don't think they know where Graves is, do they? Oh, okay, they do actually. There's a ward here that I saw. So the moment they see Graves, they're like, okay, let's go for a dive, which is really good to make sure they lose some farm here, which forces Graves to go back to bot side. However, since Graves is back bot side, right, and they actually can't dive because Graves is literally there, they have to make sure that they run through mid lane. Victor catches this wave stuck in a tower, and then use the next wave that's coming, and dive them again. Because this time Graves is there, and in order to dive them actually, they will need to make sure that Victor is stuck, and that even if Graves is there, it doesn't matter. Okay, I mean, Sejuani gets the purity alone, I guess. This is top lane. This is Korean TPs, you know. I mean, it's not gonna end well for Mad Lions here. Oh, he almost hit the Graves. Woo! Oh, was a nice attempt. Was an anti. Okay, I mean, he's gonna take the Drake here. After Drake, this is gonna play for the Herald, so very likely. They're just gonna send Mr. Phelios on mid lane and just play a 1-3-1, you know, and move into the Herald. However, Mad Lions should be aware of that, right? That they're playing for the Herald, so they just have to full send on bot. However, if EG is good, they'll just run through mid lane, make sure that they hover bot lane a little bit, and then make sure they can't take bot tower. And once they can't take bot tower, they can then look to secure the Herald, right? That's how they should approach it. Oh, they actually sent a blank bot because he's teleport. That is good. So now, no matter what, EG has man advantage on top side, so they can look for any fight, so Herald will be theirs. And they can't really do anything against LeBlanc. LeBlanc will be able to just clear this and nothing's gonna happen. So they should be, like I said, contesting on mid wave, hovering bot side a little bit, and then playing the top side. Because they do not want to be trading, preferably, because they're winning. So let's see if they do that. Okay. They saw Victor bot. Okay, they saw Victor bot, so they're like, okay, there's no need to get help because laning is Victor. And they have mid push as well, right? They can't look for anything. So they can just play next mid wave into the Herald here. Because now it's confirmed that they can't make any play on bot, so they just push mid into the Herald and get it. And LeBlanc is TP, so if they fight, they'll get it. So they push mid and get it, like I said. After they play for the Herald, right? It's always like, after you get an objective, it's really important to think, what are they playing for next? And of course, if you're playing for the Herald, enemies looking to trade, right? Like always. So after they play for the Herald, and if they're playing for bot here, right? They should be committing resources towards mid lane, if they stay bot lane. Because then they can just push the enemy out, and they can't get anything. And top lane is not as important, because they'll secure it for sure, but mid lane is the most important, I would say. They should as well just push mid, hover a little bit into bot, see how they respond. If they're all still oinking bot, just go hard on mid lane. Because the thing is that they have the Herald, right? So they have to respond. So they're popping the Herald, yeah, as expected, which makes them run to mid lane. It's gonna crash, so that's good enough. They got a crash off, they run to mid lane, and they didn't even lose bot tower here. And like I said, if they would have sent 3 ball in here, right? They would have just kept going. So they would lose more out because they're losing on 2 lanes and not, and each is like playing on 2 lanes, I mean, and net lines on 1 lane. So that's why if you have Herald usually, right, it's really important to know what they can do with it. So in this situation, EG, I mean, they stayed really low on the map. I believe like when they are taking like fresh waves like this, right, and they took so much on the map, usually what they always should do is base. So let's see if they're gonna look for base. Okay, they're basing. Okay, so after the base, right, they'll have to identify what's the next objective, which is this bot tower. So since they want to be playing for bot tower, they should put the strong side on bot, which is LeBlanc. And Sejuani is TP, so you can just be top. They can just 1-through-1, since there's no camps, they can just open through mid lane here, and have Aphelios show solo mid. Decent could decide to take through for his topside camps before he goes to bot side, which is understandable because he's like a little bit behind, and usually if Jones are a little bit behind, they're like, okay, let me take some camps, right? So he's taking some of his camps, and right now, since the enemy is first on mid lane wave, because Braum is not sure why Braum is going bot side. Anyway, since the enemy has the first move on mid lane, right? EG knows that, I mean, whoever's mid lane is responsible for calling, which is Braum or Aphelios, right? They should be calling, they have the first move, which they should be able to recognize already right here, that Braum is not here. So knowing that, they need people, I mean, sorry for the YouTube, but they need people on this wave. So on that wave, since Lee Sin is not there, they need people to lean there. I mean, they have Sejuani TP, so they're gonna be fine. However, this means that they're behind the tempo, and if they're behind the tempo, that as well means that they just have to play defensive. So anything aggressive here is no BNO. They should just wait and play tower defense. I'm not the biggest fan of this one. I'm right here, they're giving bot tower here, right? Let me see. I mean, they have Sejuani TP, but the thing is that their bowling can't come. They're like behind the tempo here. So they'll just have to give this, and they just have to full send on top and dive the Gwen, which is okay as long as they can take top tower, which I believe they can. So it's actually not even the worst. And the Grave showed as well, right? So they're just gonna full send on top side. I mean, they got mid and top tower. I don't think they should have gotten the mid tower. I'm looking if EG could have potentially defended this, because the way I see it, right? Okay, regarding the 3v3 Aphelios, Braum, Lee Sin, they're actually not that strong, which means that they can contest mid priority, right? So if anything, because Lee Sin went towards top side, right? I think after went top side, it's good what they did. However, imagine Lee Sin dropped his waves, sorry, his camps, and let's say they run through mid lane here, while Victor shows, they can instantly grip control here and secure the mid push. However, Lee Sin prioritizes camp, so he can't really go for both defense. He can't take camps plus defend, and you know, it's just sadly not possible. So right there, I liked what EG is doing. However, I don't think that Kalista plus Renata should have committed. They should have at least been around mid lane, because this is just not the greatest, because they take 2 towers. And because they also took 2 towers, right? Enemy Gwen is on the tower. Sejuani will always be first now, and they'll secure the mid push. So if EG wants to get a fresh base, they can, because now Aphelios can walk up, take the wave deep, get base, while Kalista still needs to catch the wave here, and they'll be stronger for the Drake. So as you can see, EG is like taking the wave far up and just hooking top side towards the strong side. And now Unforgiven has to catch the wave, and this is the Drake is in 20 seconds. How much? 30 seconds, okay. Corey's still gonna make it. And as you can see, why is he going for wolves as well? I guess he needs an item. But anyway, imagine that Corey needed the base here, he based there, and he would have more items than Kalista. And it's really good always to catch the wave deep here if you can, because this will allow you to have more time to be faster on the map, which will allow you to go for a fight. Because you're first. Or you're stronger because you have better items, right? But he went for one more camp. Okay, so right here, they're just gonna secure the Drake, and Mad Lion sadly can't do anything about it. They have the mid push, and they can just hover into bot lane. Victor can't do anything, he's gonna feel threatened, and if EG has a position here and LeBlanc can come from multiple angles and they have no CC, it's unplayable. So this Drake will be EG's. EG's job right now is just to make sure that this choke that they're trying to cross is gonna be really hard. And they see Kalista here, right? Which also means that if enemy shows any range here, they can full send and keep running that side down. So, I mean, Medlines is not gonna go too hot here, you know? So yeah, the Drake will be gone, and at this moment they're just gonna look to play for... I mean, they should play for bot tower. But the thing is as well, they should look to switch lane assignments because they want to play for Baron. And since they're putting resource topside right now, right? They're for sure going to look to switch lane assignments. So they're going to push the wave, put LeBlanc on top lane, put Sejuani on top, and EG is going to look to play mid into topside. So EG's job is just to hover into mid a bit, make sure he gets the push, and then move in the side lane. Which will allow you to take this whole area. Okay, so right here, I think that since Brom's basing, right, nothing's gonna happen. EG is just playing tower defense and waiting. So, however though, the team is just gonna move through the jungle here and see what happens. If Gwen goes for the next wave, okay, I mean Sejuani should go bot. They switch lane assignment, like I said. But yeah, LeBlanc, not sure why LeBlanc is going bot. The only reason I see him going bot is because they're looking for a pick. However, they will be able to take this bot tower anyway. Okay, looking for a quick pick. I wonder if Victor could not have blown the way faster. And just a small thing, right, that you guys probably don't notice, but you see Sejuani waiting here. He's not showing yet because he wants to make sure that LeBlanc is like in range, because the moment he shows, right, Sejuani, that guy's instantly gonna walk back. So he's like waiting a bit till LeBlanc's like a bit closer, and the moment he can follow up, he's gonna walk. Because even if Victor then runs, he'll be in range. I mean, he missed the ultimate, right? However, if he, oh yeah, he flashed for it, so understandable. But I mean, Gwen was, I guess, slow pushing. They pinged. Not sure when they realized it, but I guess right now they're realizing, okay, this guy is like not pushing. And if the guy's freezing, then running bot's good, but I didn't see that he's just oinking and not hard pushing. So if that's the case, then going bot is for sure the right play. Oof. Oh my god, this looks so awkward. Oh my god. Whew. Oh, that's a feels bad moment. He's gonna emote now inspired, isn't he? Okay, it's not. Okay, anyway, this is not bad for EG. I mean, for Mad Lions, they actually get top tower here and manage to trade. Okay, so in this situation, EG's job is just to make sure that they have control over this area. As long as they have control over this area, they can easily look to threaten Baron, and they'll have to come in. And when they have to come in, they'll have to, you know, face check and die usually. So what's gonna happen here is that Sejuani is gonna like hover mid lane a little bit here. If he doesn't need the base, Gwen should very likely be showing top, and the moment he shows top, they can full send and go fight them. And if they're not fighting, let's say they're playing safe in the tower, they can then walk in, take control. Sejuani's job is just then to make sure that he's on time on top lane and push the wave again. And that way they have deep vision, and it's gonna be difficult for Mad Lions to play the game. And right here, right, they're doomed. Sejuani is gonna collapse, LeBlanc is gonna TP. I think his TP, he doesn't have a TP ward. But these guys are doomed because they know that they are much stronger. It's just fight, you know, like play slow and fight. I'll be surprised if they survive. They have to flash. Okay, this is good enough. I think they could have maybe killed though. Oh, I inspired Mrs. Q. Was really, really close. And Brom didn't have ultimate. I do think though that Braum should here just like man up, because I think that they know that Victor is bot here. They see Gwen here, right? And Sejuani is collapsing from sight. Even if Braum gets to 1 HP, the moment he sees this, he has flash exhaust, just run and just tag them and just make sure that you get hit, you know, or something. But anyway, this is not too shabby. They got enemy TP. And right here, they're just gonna repeat the same process. They're just gonna push mid, go into top side. However, they don't Sejuani ult anymore, but that doesn't change the fact that enemy will have no wards around Baron and they're gonna be forced to come in. If Aphelios has good guns, they can do it really fast. And the right side, they have no one to face check. They just have to go in. So EG right now, LeBlanc should just be oinking in these areas and just like this line and harass them. And Mad Lions are not even in range to use Blue Trinket. And they're just gonna start the Baron here. I mean, they're just gonna walk back a bit like this, right? But I'm sure they're gonna zone them and make life hard for Graves to check. So yeah, he's gonna go back here and he's gonna zone him. Because you see, like, no one's doing a face check. Unforgiven is a stand here to Blue Trinket. However, even if you Blue Trinket, right? What EG can do is, the moment they see them, they can just leave the Baron and just wait here. And they only have 1 Blue Trinket. So they're like forced in a situation where they have to face check, and now they can just easily look for a turn. And they don't even have to stay on the Baron. They can just decide, hey guys, they're gonna come in for sure, let's look for a turn. And they should look for a 5-man turn. So what you can see that EG is doing is very good, because I missed. But yeah, as you can see, they did what I said, which is that the moment someone Blue Trinkets, right, they think they're still on it. And the moment you clear the ward, they still think you're on it. So you have no reason to stay here, because your job or your reason to hit Baron is actually to fight them, right? And the moment they come in and someone has a good position to find an angle to turn, you should stop hitting Baron, just go for them. So right here, they're looking for a turn. I wonder if they could have killed them. Victor has no flash. Braum is ultimate. I do think they have the tools to kill them. Oof, okay. Yeah, I'm wondering if... Oh, I mean, they missed the chain as well. Maybe if the chain landed here, right, on Unforgiven, he would have to flash if the chain landed. And LeBlanc can just, like, he has flash as well, right? He can, like, deal so much damage here. That was a nice try. But this is in general how people are thinking about Baron, and there's so many things you can do. But now since they failed, right, they're just gonna repeat the same process. So right now, okay, they're starting it. So this is one thing that I don't like about the Baron starts, which is that the moment enemy manages to enter here and the enemy is like kind of healthy, right? Kalista can like lifesteal. I don't think he's like actually that low HP. This is the best chance for Mad Lions to come back. Yes, they have their ultimates on those 4. However, I don't think that they have the capability to zone the Graves. I mean, I guess they have Listing Kick, but they have not ult as well, right? So this is the best chance for Mad Lions. So in Mad Lions' case, right, all they have to do is just try to ward it, just oink, wait till it's low, and just flip it. Like literally, you know? Like it's when it's 8k, like they're not in a hurry. They see the Baron HP, they just have to make sure that they tank the Baron, just dance around, make sure that they're gonna sweat for it. And AG should not be able to do anything. And the sucky thing about Mad Lion team comp is that they have no engagement with Victor and Graves. It really feels bad, man. Like look, this piggy is just running away and he does not care. How sad is that? But yeah, EG is not... What the fuck? I guess that turret, you know... But yeah, like I said, EG is not able to do anything. I do think, though, that right now they can actually kill them, I guess, or look for something. But I think they're just gonna go back to Baron. Let's see what they do. Okay, actually it was really well played from Inspired, by the way. I really liked how he played there. Because he just played slow, you know. I was thinking he can't go in here, right? But he just go in, jump out, and then go in again. It was actually really, really fucking good. And then Sejuani is actually close enough. And now he's looking when the teams are close. Actually, Inspired's really insane. And now they'll secure Baron. Okay. Okay, so in this situation, right, I actually didn't pay attention what they're playing for. But if they play for Baron, right, depending on respawn timers, I always play Baron. You just pay attention to respawn timers, but I can't really see it because there's like a pause. So anyway, EG is probably playing for a mid bot, so preferably they want to use minimal resources on mid lane, and the rest just go through the jungle. And then after that, they can like, if someone shows bot, match. If not, make sure to fog around mid to make sure that if they're contesting mid lane, right, that you can fight them. If not, you can then go back to side lane and protect the wave. So like here, okay, Sejuani is going mid lane, Victor's showing top. I mean, they can just play 2 lanes and keep going. Because Victor's showing top and no teleport. So they should like probably wait a little bit if they could with the wave, because the field is really far away. Because like, you can't really hit without your AD, right? So... Okay, so right here they will just get bot. After they take the bot tower, right, they should be slow pushing this wave. If you slow push that wave, right, you can sync mid and bot waves and make sure that enemies defend here, and then Sejuani can rotate like that. Because always with Baron, right, you want to make sure that you don't hard push this one. Because if you do, they can be 5-man defending, your Sejuani is here, they can 5v4 defend this, and then they can go mid lane and keep running around like that, which is not the greatest, right? So they should be slow pushing. I think they're pushing a bit too fast. Because imagine they like slow push a bit, right? And mid wave crashes, they have to catch. It will be 5v4 for EG. But now they can be 5v5 wave clearing, and always if you're Baron, you should try to clear an edge. And I don't think it's that hard, sorry, not that easy to hit against Victor. Because none of them actually have like range, right? So they will have to dive them. Okay, Inspire is just fisting. I mean, the thing here, right, is that the moment they clear the wave, they should just go mid lane wave. But they're just all oinking here, and mid tower is just gone, you know? So that's not the greatest, right? Okay, I mean, I do think that they can look for something. Yeah, they're looking for something now. Because as the tower's down, right, like, just go. There's nothing holding you back anymore. Ooh. What a legend. I mean, and I guess it's GG. I mean, yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed the VOD review. It was a live VOD review. I did not watch this game before. And yeah, I mean, EG is actually a really good team, honestly. If I watch how they play, and they're really on point with a lot of things. So, but yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching and have a good day.